Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Alyssa. I am a Portland-based flight attendant, and I love taking you guys on my trips with me. We are currently in Fairbanks, Alaska. It's my first time having a layover in Fairbanks. I have been up to Alaska before. It's probably been a year or so. I think I did vlog last time I was in Anchorage. It was a while ago. I haven't been up here since. Kind of an interesting trip. Today is day 3 of 3 for me. So on day 1, we flew from Portland to Anchorage and then Anchorage to Fairbanks and had an overnight. Yesterday we just went back and forth between Fairbanks and Anchorage. So we woke up in Fairbanks, went to Anchorage, sat for like 3 hours in the airport, went back to Fairbanks, went back to Anchorage, sat for another hour, and then came back to Fairbanks last night. I was just really tired because of the time difference between Texas and Alaska. It is a 3-hour time difference. So we've been landing at midnight here, which is 3 a.m. for my body, and by the time we get to the hotel and I get to bed, I've been like going to bed at like 4 a.m. the last couple days and then sleeping in. My body is like so messed up from it. But I didn't vlog any of my flying, primarily because we actually didn't do any service yesterday. I worked the front on the way on day 1 because I'm working with one of my classmates, a little bit more senior than him. So I chose to work in the front, and then I just like to flip-flop back and forth. So then I worked in the back yesterday, but it was so turbulent for all of our back and forth flights that I didn't actually do any service. I just sat in the back and read my Kindle mostly. That's what I did, and just kind of stared off into the abyss. So there wasn't really anything to film anyway. Today we head back to Anchorage from here, and then we go from Anchorage back home to Portland, and then I get to commute home overnight and take a red eye home and be home tomorrow. Nice little 3-day trip. Definitely just hard because of the time change. And also, it's been so light here. Up until like 10 or 11 o'clock, like the sun was still out. The sun was like setting at 11 p.m. because I guess they're getting close to, I don't know the proper term for it, but when they have 24 hours of daylight, like when there's no darkness. So we're getting close to it. I guess that's in June, and it's May, the beginning of May. And so every day they get 7 extra minutes of sunlight up until the day, like up until whatever day in June where it's just like 24 hours of sun. So it's just like, actually it was really helpful for me because looking outside, it's like still bright out, even though it was like super late for my body. That helped me kind of stay awake and not feel like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna pass out in my seat because I'm so tired. It's so different up here. Like it's such a different lifestyle. The passengers are different. It's been such a unique experience. Like I don't get to come up here very often. So it's been really fun. But we just went downstairs and got some breakfast. I just grabbed a cup of coffee. I got to say hi to Damon really quick. I haven't talked to him because he's been away out of town on work as well. So we haven't really talked a whole lot. So it's really good to just hear his voice really quick. I am so excited. I'm about to take you guys on a really cool adventure. There's something in the area that I didn't do yesterday that I really want to do today. Unfortunately, the weather is way worse today than it was yesterday. Yesterday it was like sunny and like 50s. Today it's really cold and it's like rainy. There's snow on the ground and it feels a lot colder. I don't know what the weather is. Let's actually look. It says 38 degrees and raining, so it's much colder than it was yesterday. It was a lot warmer yesterday. I want to say it's probably like 10:30 right now. My van pickup is at 1:40, so I definitely got up earlier. I think yesterday I didn't get out of bed until like 11:30, and I just laid around. I was so exhausted. I definitely got an earlier start to my day, specifically because I want to take you guys on this adventure with me. We are going to go meet some reindeer. I never thought I'd be saying that, but we're gonna go do that. I have this cool little wristband that gives me a free admission to go say hello to the reindeer and meet them. I guess their feeding time is at like 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. I definitely wasn't going to get up at 8 a.m. because I thought about it, but by the time we got to our hotel, like I didn't go to bed early enough by the time we got here. So I was like, I know I'm not going to get up for their feeding time, but we can still walk over and say hi to them. There's like a rehabilitation center in the area that's not too far. So we are going to walk over and do that, but it was cold, it was raining. I had my hood on, I was talking to Damon, I had coffee in my hand. So I figured, you know what? I'll come upstairs, say hello to you guys. We'll start the vlog, and then we're gonna go venture outside, and we're gonna see what's in the area. Like I said, it's pretty cold, so I won't be outside for too long. I literally just wanted to do this vlog for this purpose. Also have a really crazy story to tell you guys about my flying that I just remembered. We will talk about that when I come back and get ready for the day.
It's so cold here. I did not dress warm enough at all.
This is the coolest thing ever. They gave me a coat to borrow inside, which he said is good for up to -60, -60 degrees, and it is definitely warm. I was telling you guys I was freezing. My hands are cold, but this is so cool. I'm just above the reindeer. They're down below, just eating their hay, hanging out. It's definitely cold today, but the river's across the way. It's so beautiful. I'm having so much fun. I'm the only person here at the rehabilitation center, so it's so peaceful, it's so quiet. None of the reindeer have come up to me yet. I'm hoping that they will. We're gonna go back down and see if I can give them some nose scratches. am back home. I did not get a chance to finish talking to you guys, but I had so much fun learning all about reindeer. Did you guys know that we are the only ones who call them reindeer? Everywhere else, I guess, in the world, they just call them caribou, but reindeer is like the most domesticated version of caribou, which I did not know. I learned so much about when they came to the States, who brought them to the States, why they came to the States, like all of these things. It was like so fascinating to me to learn because I just had no idea. The lady that was working at it was like a little gift shop store and then the like reindeer habitat as well. and she had so much knowledge about it, and I was the only one in there, and so she just like talked story with me, like told me all about it, and it was so fun to learn. But I had such a good time. I'm so glad I got to cross that off my bucket list, that I got to get up and close and personal with some reindeer. I did not get to give any of them nose scratches. They would not come up to me, but I just let them be. They were eaten. It was cold outside, so I was just smiling from ear to ear the whole time. It was so much fun. And I told you guys I had a story to tell you, so I wanted to tell you that before I close out the vlog. I had my very first experience having to kick a passenger off of a flight. I never thought I'd have to do that. I am really good about giving passengers the benefit of the doubt, as long as they're being compliant and listening and they're not like hurting other people or themselves. Like usually drunk people will just fall asleep during a flight, so it's not a big deal. But if it looks like it's going to be a safety issue, then like I have to remove them. Like we cannot allow them to fly with us, just for their safety and ours as well. Working in first class, I noticed that there was a passenger in 3A, younger guy, but his eyes were super bloodshot, and he slumped over in his chair, like couldn't sit up, wasn't buckled in, kind of looked like he was in his own world. So I go to the back and I asked my other flight attendant, I was like, hey, can you do a walk through the front? Tell me what you think. Like, do you think this guy is like safe to fly with us? Like, he's having conversation with me. And I was like, okay, you do a walkthrough, maybe just say hi to him or ask him to put his bag under his seat or something, just to kind of get a gauge of where he's at. And he's like, not a problem. He comes up to the front, like walks through. We try to do it discreetly, turns around, walks back. And the guy in front of him in 2A was totally fine when he was boarding, but he was like, Jack and Coke. And my other flight attendant was like, what was that, sir? And he's like, Jack and Coke. And he was like, yeah, what about it? I want one. You can't have one, sir. And he sits up and he goes, why not? And he gets really aggressive. Like, that is not a good sign just because we said, no, you can't have alcohol. David goes, because we're on the ground, sir. We're not in the air. We can't give you alcohol on the ground. And the guy kind of smiles. He's like, oh, like he didn't realize. He kind of like tattled on himself because he was totally compliant with me. Like I had no idea, but he totally ratted on himself. So David turns around and he goes, yeah, that guy's got to go, because he was super aggressive when we said, no, you can't have alcohol. And like he was slurring his words. Like he was not really, he thought we were flying in the air and we were still boarding up on the ground. The boarding door hadn't even been closed. So he was like, yeah, he can't fly with us. This was on our flight from Fairbanks to Anchorage, I want to say. It was one of those, either Anchorage to Fairbanks or Fairbanks to Anchorage. I don't know which one it was, which is like under an hour flight. So like I said, I usually would give people the benefit of the doubt, but after he showed his behavior, we were like, no, absolutely not. So then we had to get the gate agent to go get a supervisor, and the supervisor has to come and ask him to step off the plane. And luckily, I think he was just so intoxicated that he didn't really know what was going on. He couldn't find his bag in the overhead bin. He didn't know where he put it. He opened like 4 different bins trying to find his backpack, but he just like got up, looked around for his bag, grabbed it, and walked off. And we were kind of laughing because I was like, oh my gosh, like you totally just ratted on yourself, dude. Like I would have let him fly. I would have probably given him a drink in the air because I had no idea. Like he was totally fine. He kind of had his eyes closed the whole time we were boarding. Like he sat down and had his eyes closed, so I would have not known at all. So because of all of that transpired, like everybody's watching, obviously, all of my first class passengers. So the guy that I was originally worried about, he saw it all, and he started talking to like a mom and a little girl. Like the mom had a daughter across the way, and he's like fist bumping them and having a full conversation with them. So I was like, okay, like he obviously saw what happened, so I feel like that is like proof like he's gonna like behave, you know. And so I just asked him, I was like, hey, you're still not buckled, friend, like what's going on? And he's like, oh man. And he kind of like laughed about it, but he sat up, he buckled, and I kept going on. So I was like, as long as you're compliant, like we're good. So that was my first experience with having to kick someone off a flight. It was kind of like you kind of just get adrenaline from it, you know, because it's like not fun to have to confront people like that, especially when he was like kind of getting agitated and angry when we told him, no, you can't have Jack and Coke. But I don't know what it was. The rest of the trip, like so many people were ordering Jack and Cokes, and my other flight attendant would come up to me and just be like, Jack and Coke, Jack and Coke. And we were just kind of laughing it off. But they said they're going to rebook him in the morning. He just needed to sleep it off. And they have so many flights that go back and forth, Anchorage and Fairbanks all day long. So it wasn't going to be too much of an issue. But that was my first and hopefully my only experience with having to kick an intoxicated passenger off of a flight. I am glad that he was compliant and just kind of got up and left. Like he didn't cause a scene. We didn't have to call like the police or anything like that. The rest of the trip went well. It's definitely different flying up in Alaska, but it was good to experience it again, and that was my first time in Fairbanks, so it was a lot of fun. We are going to wrap up the vlog here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Have a great week.